Eric Hayes says China is in Africa, and when the debt is not paid, they take it over. That is how they are conquering the world. Um, you know something, Eric Hayes? You are correct. China is filling a lot of these countries up with easy money, just like our our corporations do to the American people and to our government. Let's explain. Right now, Americans used to, as productivity increased, after we got the unions involved and after we got everybody to show that they were stakeholders, what happened? Salaries started to go up, wages started to go up. As productivity went up, so did wages. But Alan Greenspan, not Alan Greenspan, but Milton Friedman, the new master of capitalism, said, oh, no, 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 no. Your job, corporations, are to do whatever is necessary to maximize the profit for the shareholder. And of course, with that, your big ass bonuses. Okay? Cool. What that meant is strangling the worker again. But we also wanted growth. We wanted to have more products sold, etc. If we're not paying them, remember, Ford said back in the early days, the reason he paid a living wage is so that the people who worked could afford to buy the car he sells. Well, that was magnanimous. He wasn't being nice. He was just being practical, and that still applies today. But the capitalists learned something else. They learned something called paper, manipulation of financial instruments. So we don't go ahead and give people any more money. No more. We don't increase your wages. It's been stagnant except for this last year under Biden. Under Biden is the first time we've had substantial increase in wages for Americans. And people say, oh, it started under Trump. No, it didn't. What started under Trump was really remodelation. Okay, but let's wait for a minute on that. Here's what happened. They said, you know what? There is another way for we to have our peons buy more stuff to make us more rich. So how do we do it? The magic is called credit. So how? And there's a great piece called, you look it up on my website, Capitalism Hit the Fan by economist Richard Wolff. And I've interviewed him several times, both in person and here on the show. And what they did is as follows. All right, we're going to keep those wages stagnant, but we are going to make credit very, very easy. So you want to buy a house? Go buy a house. No problem. We know you're going to pay for it because you work. You want to buy a car? Go buy a car. In the past, you used to have to put 30-40% down on your home. Nothing. Nada. We even have a 10-10-20 or a 10-10-80. 10-10-80, we put down 10%. We loan you 10% on a high interest loan, and then we give you a mortgage for the other 80%. All kinds of deals it created to let you borrow more money. What happens when you borrow more money? You pay on that home as much as you can, and you try to pay the mortgage, and you put all your money into that home. But when you hit the fan, when the pandemic comes, when the explosion of the bonds that these capitalists put out that falls on your case, when that occurs, you lose your home, right? So they get to keep all the monies that you paid on the home before, and then they sell the home. And what's interesting about that is whatever they lose on the home, you then have to pay in taxes. Folks, if you don't understand the corruption that is our economic system, so when Brother Hayes talks about, oh, China is going to Africa and giving them loans and going to all these countries and giving them loans to build roads and all of that. China had the best teacher. It's called America. We don't only do that to countries. We didn't only do that to Costa Rica. We didn't only do that to Panama. We didn't only do that to Saudi Arabia. We didn't only do that to all these other countries. We did it to our own. I don't know if China has started doing it to its own yet, but there's something that I always talk about, and it goes as follows. And it goes like this. You know when you're reaching the end of a system, when you have to eat your own. When, America has always been the land of immigrants, right? And immigrants, and the POCs, those were the people that you could take advantage of, extract more from them, still keep your society, because enough of your society is doing well. But here's the kicker. You run out of people to screw. You eventually run out of all them immigrants. And especially when you have a policy that says you don't want more immigrants, you run out of all these people that you can take advantage of. And then you have to start taking advantage of your own, which is where we're at now. So what has happened? My white brothers and sisters, who for a long time in the aggregate, I'm not talking absolute, I'm talking in the aggregate, has done better than everybody else because of the nature of our economy. Now that capitalism needs to eat more people, and they've eaten all they could from the others in the aggregate. I mean, there's still an Oprah, there's still a Bill, there's still an Oprah and a few others, right? But that is the thing that is just the exception. In the aggregate, it's still there. It has to eat more people to survive. Where else are we going to get 7% growth in an economy that grows at 2 to 3%? I'm talking over time. You have to take it from somebody. And eventually, the laws of math work. You run out of people to take it from. And our good white brothers and sisters are finally in the firing line along with everybody else. And that is why I said there is a natural alliance to be had against the plutocracy. I always talk about it, and I said, whenever we unite, the ghettos, the barrios, and Appalachia, that's a stereotype. But when we get all these peoples together, everybody, the different factionalizations that the plutocracy created, then we can beat them all. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.